Top three things in my notebook this morning. Number one, Germany, or the DAX. Number two, the Japanese yen. And number three, sentiment, and I mean U.S. stock market sentiment. So just to hit first on the DAX, it is the leader of the Eurobulls. It is the leader on the economic growth curves. It is leading the U.S. in terms of rate of change. So again, we talk about growth divergences in the world. That's because Europe is 1 to 2 years behind the U.S. recovery. The U.S. recovery from a growth perspective, just FYI, is still slowing. So again, we like European equities more than we like U.S. equities. And again, Europe outperforming again this morning with markets like Austria and Denmark up almost 5% for the year to date. Secondly, the yen. The yen is flashing some very interesting signals here now. On Friday, we put out a real-time alert that the yen was immediate term trade overbought. But don't confuse that with this thing going to hell in a handbasket that fast anymore. The range in the yen is tightening. So that, in our model, when the range tightens, is just a bullish signal on the margin. So again, you don't have as much downside in the yen is another way to think about it relative to the dollar. And that puts risk in what? Into the Nikkei. So again, think through that correlation risk. It's surreal currently in terms of Japanese equities and the currency market overall. Then finally, sentiment in the U.S. I mean, this is a really interesting number this morning. Maybe not surprisingly, though. In our preferred bull-bear survey, the II bull-bear spread, it just came in to 38% wide. So in other words, there are 38% more bulls than bears. Now that's really wide. It's not the all-time wide. The all-time wide, of course, was only 4 weeks ago. So it's interesting to watch how quickly people might get bearish. They're definitely not bearish yet. In that survey, only 15.3% have said that they're bearish. So they'll start to admit it on the way down, of course. But again, if you think people are bearish, I'd think that over. I don't think that people are bearish enough, particularly for right, and U.S. growth continues to slow. So keep that in the back of your mind as you look through everything else out there today. And those are your top three things.